Okay, this one should be really interesting. I'd like you to see if you can challenge yourself to test your skills. Do not attempt this at home. Do not try this if you aren't ready, because you may fall into some problems. But if you want to test out your skills to see if you're kind of getting it, there's an interesting experience I just had on another channel. Now, on this person's channel, he's pretty popular. If this guy gets it, he reaches out an awful lot of people. So I kind of watch where this guy's going, because he's really, really searching for answers, and he's connected with a very large group of people. So he has the potential to cause a major shift if this guy can get it. So where this guy's mindset at is he's a soldier, and he's very, very young. So he's got a soldier mentality that he's trying to escape, but he's escaping it using a whore mentality. I watched him a few years ago on Blog TV, and he was really fucking angry. Anybody could say one thing and he'd be really on their case. So I kind of made the suggestion you need to be a little calmer and have some understanding for where people are coming from. And since then, he's been extremely calm. This is a guy that would definitely say, hey, look, if I'm crazy, if I'm insane, if I am wrong, I will be the one that admits it. So he's definitely open to change, but he just needs to have the experience that forces him to have that change. And people on my channel may be the ones that are bright enough, ready enough, have the skill level to be able to introduce a shift to this guy. Now, watched a video. I actually put out 2 videos today. One where he's admitting that he was wrong about the moon thing, and then he put out another video that's convincing everybody that you should buy gold and silver and guns and kill people. And it's like, okay, there's the greed thing going on, and the war. You pick up a gun and think that's a solution. It is the same fucking mentality that he can't see yet. So I posted a comment that created some flack. And don't go on to this guy's channel to have any type of argument. Don't go on to this channel to post an opposing viewpoint without being able to be really calm and loving, and don't come back with the same negativity that will come back at you, because then you're going to turn into them and you won't see yourself doing it. So it's like, if you can stay and remain calm and peaceful and not let words affect you, and you can still make a logical point, then your skills are pretty damn good. But if you want to understand how the whole fucking globe is so fucked up, you'll see it in this one video. You'll see this guy who wants to solve a problem, just like the elites. They think they're trying to solve problems. I mean, if you really talk to them, if you really see what they're doing, they are trying to solve problems, but they're using their mentality to solve problems with. And it appears like they're greedy and want to kill the planet and do all that shit. That's just a perception, and it's wrong. It's no different than the same mentality that this guy has. But, again, it's a skill to be able to see it. So the comment that I made is, don't buy gold and silver. And the mentality, the logic that is going with that one is, who owns most of the gold? It's all of these elites. Everybody that can afford gold right now is going to be the wealthy ones in that new economic system. So it's like, Have you lost your house? Have you lost everything? Can you afford to buy any gold? No. So if you can't buy any gold because you can't afford it, guess what? People like this are making you into the new slave, because you're going to have to slave to get some of that gold. You're going to have to do some fucking labor, because that's what they're going to do with the gold, is buy something with that gold. So in order to buy something, somebody else has to do the labor or do something to gain it. So you will be the new slave. And these are more or less slave master wannabes, and they don't know it yet. Because if they own the gold, they control what those who don't have gold have to do. And then there's another little philosophy involved with that too, that it is the philosopher's stone. If you want to know exactly the secrets behind that philosopher's stone, it's using philosophy to make something valuable. And what's philosophy? Somebody's fucking opinion. That they manipulate their opinions to make you see something valuable when there's zero value in it at all. Gold is nothing. It's a fucking rock. Oh, it looks pretty and it's used for a lot of things and we've put value on it before, but technically, it's a fucking mineral. It's no different than any other fucking rock, but we put value on it. We have a belief that it's worth something, mostly because of the past, but it didn't work in the past, so we're going to use that philosophy. So to buy gold and silver right now is to give everybody that has a lot of wealth more wealth, because it's just shifting their dollar value into a gold value and it keeps the fucking game going. So that's why I'm saying, it's like, why would you want to keep the same game going? It's the same game. It's who's controlling it, who owns the bulk of it, what they do with it. They can hold it and not put it in the system, causing recessions and depressions. If you take out all of the value out of the economic system, don't spend it, then you crash the system. So they can do the same thing with the dollars they can do with gold. They can put anything. They can put a piece of paper. They can, make silver valuable. They can make water valuable. They can make anything valuable as long as they own it and they manipulate you to think that it's worth something. And you got to have it. So that's the mentality of that. But okay, the flack that I got resulted in this woman that, okay, it was assumed that she was a man, but she fell into saying I seen the same patterns. This is a woman that actually used the words that, like I'm stupid and I'm dumb and, all of the name calling that says I have zero intelligence. She actually said I don't have any intelligence and I'm losing it. And everything I'm saying makes no sense at all. And it's like, yeah, nothing I say will be making any sense to you as long as you want to make sense out of what you think makes sense. If there's no will, wish, want, and desire to see a different picture, you won't see it. So that's why it won't make any sense to you. So it's like, it's a pointless conversation, because it's like, you got to want to see it first, and not hang on to the lie and the greed that goes along with it. So anyways, I ended up getting a lot of name calling, and then then the statement ended up being, oh, your ex must have had a ball messing with you. And it's like, good one. It's like you've aligned yourself perfectly with a mindset. And that mindset that you're aligning with is a very, very abusive, greedy man. And then she ended up saying, well, I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And it's like, oh, even better. Because you know what? Nothing my ex-husband did, he did on his own. He ended up going online, trying to get even with me, moved in with the first piece of ass he could find. And this girl was after his money because he was making a lot of money. She literally put in emails that she wanted his money and she was going to do everything to make sure I didn't get any of it. She also went out of her way to say, I'll make sure your kids hate your living guts. Everything that was done to me was done to me by this new wife. And my husband was just, I approve this message. So my ex could look like, you know, the evil guy, but the only thing that guy is evil is he had zero courage to believe in himself. You know, it's just give me sex and I'll do whatever you want. And that behavior is basically why I divorced the man, is because he would go to work and a bunch of guys at work would say, why value your family? And then he'd come home and not value his family. And it's like, why are you listening to guys at work? You know, like, so that mentality, you know, naturally went with his new wife. So anyways, then it went on to, this person was saying, just end the conversation. So I said, you know what, just don't respond to me and you will end the conversation. But as long as you're going to say things about me that aren't true, I will respond. You know, I'm not scared of the fight. I'm not scared of the discussion. I have my shit together, and I have a little bit of logic to back up my point of view. It's like, if you're going to say that I'm not intelligent, let's have that conversation. But you're not going to say I have no intelligence, and then I'm just not going to respond to that. So it was like, okay, my goal was to show her she has zero lack of control for herself. So kind of look at the posts in the Times of when she said, stop posting, goodbye, be gone. And I then said, look, if you want the conversation ended, don't reply. And then she continued to reply. So it's like, okay, you still want to fight, obviously. You're in a fighting mode. So I was just trying to throw things back at them. And one of the things that I did say that they found extremely offensive and said that I was losing it is, what I was doing is I was pointing out some of the logic that I think makes sense, and it's like, prove me wrong. You know, the only prove me wrong that anybody's been successful at doing is the name calling, which it's like, okay, just because you call me a name doesn't mean it's true. Which means, you know, all the way down the line, your opinion of what you think is right is probably equally not as true. So it doesn't really affect me. But what was I saying? So I was making my point, and then, you know, they didn't want to get it. So the best thing that I find is just agree with them. You know, so then I made the statement, hey, it's a good thing. You're right. You know, let's just get all the gold and all the silver and get all the guns, and let's just kill all the kids in the neighborhood. Because after all, what are you getting guns for? It's to protect all your stuff that you need. There's going to be a whole pile of starving people. That what are you going to do to survive? You're going to try and steal the food from the guy that has it because you're starving. So, you know, it will be a kid. It will be a mother. It will be a father that's starving that, you know, will come and try and get food if you're the one that's got all the food. So, you know, I made the statement that, yeah, buy all the gold, buy all the silver, buy all the guns. Let's start shooting the kids now, you know, like, you know, and then it was like I was losing, and it's like, and then they were saying that it was my words and I can't even see it. And it's like, wait a minute. I make my point of view and I'm crazy. And then when I throw the same logic back at you, maybe a little extreme, but it is the same pattern. It's exactly the same game that we're playing right now, that I just threw it in their face to see how they like it. And that's the time they ended up saying that I'm losing it. And it's like, if I just said your own words, but, you know, played that game out and showed you the bigger picture of what the end result would look like, then you're going to say you're losing it. So technically, this person is losing it, but doesn't see she's losing it. So this is how everything starts, by, you know, some guy that's in fear that wants to solve a problem. That's how the elites are. They don't have the information while they think they have all of the information as they're trying to solve problems. And it is the people at the bottom, you know, that have all of the control. It is people like in this conversation that choose to believe in something and then supports that system that they are complaining about. So, and then we sit there and, you know, want to say we want to stop abuse. Well, in order to stop abuse, you need other people to come involved in the conversation peacefully, lovingly, and really question their logic. When you get a large enough group questioning that mentality, then that mentality has the potential to make a shift. So that's what I'm challenging you, is to go into this conversation. I'll post a link below and see if you can see some of the insanity going on. Try to make a point without getting pissed off. Don't get into the name calling. Try and use logic as much as possible and just see if you can make a difference. If you can make a difference in this video, you can make a difference in the bigness of your real world. This is the way to solve problems peacefully and not with war and not with guns. That never worked. Peace out.